So translations came out for Super Dragon Ball Heroes manga chapter number 3. Now I covered this manga chapter without translations a couple days ago, and we're about to go over it again now with English translations. So let's go ahead and get started right after this intro. Now this video is coming, shout out go to two people, YeLLa for saying love your content bro, and William for saying I love your vids, you deserve 1 million subscribers. Like I said, if you want to be shouted out in the next video, all you have to do is watch this video to the very end, leaving a like, comment, and leaving a nice comment for me to read. Now like I said, translations came out for this manga chapter, and now of course it starts with the fight between Tapion and Trunks. Tapion says, I'm happy Trunks, I always wanted to spar with you like this, but Trunks is saying I apologize but I don't know you. Perhaps the me you might know is from a different space-time. Tapion hearing it says, it took me some time to believe that there was such a thing as histories in another space-time, but seems like you don't know anything about that sword of yours, so it seems I have no choice but to trust you on that. Now Trunks says to him, this sword was made for me by the Supreme God of Time, what of it? Also, he doesn't seem like a bad guy, he's thinking to himself. This is when Tapion introduces himself by giving his name, and he says, I met you when you were a kid, and I gave you my sword. Of course, in his history though, and Goten back there, he says, I see, that's how he knew him. Like I said in my previous video, Goten, he's chilling back there. Goten also wondered to himself what he's like in another history. But of course, this is when Hirudegan, he begins to strike. Tapion's telling them who exactly this creature is and how he came to be. What's interesting to me is that Tapion says, let's call off this fight for now. It's like, damn, that's right. This thing only reveals itself for a split second when it attacks. That second is all Trunks needed. No effort, Trunks uses Super Saiyan God Burning Breaker. Slices this dude Hirudegan up into pieces. Tapion's reaction to this is just stare at Trunks in awe by saying, what swift swordsmanship. Now of course Goten is actually happy about this. He's so happy he actually says, hooray, you know, you're so cool Trunks, by throwing his hand in the air. And I didn't even catch this in the beginning. When he threw his fist in the air, he actually hit one of the time fairies. Now Tapion mentions that Hirudegan was from a different space-time and it was stronger. But then notices that Trunks disappeared, and that's because Goten actually touched one of the time fairies. So in other words, his team automatically wins. Now of course this is when we get into the Raditz versus Turles fight. Now they both staring at each other, finally glad that that big bug is gone, no interruptions. Poor Broly didn't have this luxury a couple chapters back. And Raditz look at him with an eerie smile saying, don't be so desperate my fellow Saiyan. Now this is why I'm glad that I got the English translations, because now I know what they're talking about. Raditz wants Turles to actually join forces with him. By saying, I'll ask you one more time, you don't want to join forces with me, do you? Apparently Turles already said no. He says, don't make me say it over and over again. If you want to join my crew, I can think about it. Raditz says, I see. The only thing left for fools who refuse to offer to join us is to die. As he transforms into the legendary Super Saiyan 3, saying, I'll show this to you before you die. I was sucked into the cracks of time and wandered through numerous alternate dimensions. This is how I attained the power of Super Saiyan 3. Now of course this is when the battle ensues. Now throughout this fight, Turles comments that you seem to be able to increase your power level as well. But know that your overconfidence and your arrogance could prove to be fatal. He's trying to give Turles a lesson while actually fighting. Now Turles responds by saying, arrogance? No, this is what it means to be a Saiyan. This is my pride. Now you might want to say, where did he learn this? This kind of sounds like Vegeta. Vegeta actually taught him this last arc when him and Kamer was fighting and they was bullying Vegeta. Before Vegeta got that power up, Vegeta was able to control the evil energy that Turles put onto him. Vegeta beat them all and he says good and evil don't mean anything. Told Turles that he needs to have more pride. So I like how they incorporated this into the next arc. Of course the narration says a showdown of power and pride between these two Saiyans. Teams 5 contested Turles defeats Teams 10 contesting Raditz. Now skipping ahead a little bit in the story, this is when it comes to Frieza's men trying to find the time fairy, or trying to catch the time fairy, but them saying it as well as thinking it, hearts can read minds. So he was like, that's an interesting thing to hear, and that's when he snatches the time fairy. So it leads me to wonder, did Heart's team know about the time fairies and what they can actually do? Because like I said at the beginning or in the previous videos, not everybody knows about the time fairies. Now of course this is when we are introduced to Heart's team here, and of course we see that iconic pose of Golden Frieza holding up Mega Frieza. Even some of Frieza's soldiers looked up and said, there's 2 Lord Friezas. And of course Comber just wants to fight, telling Hearts not to touch the time fairy yet, he wants to fight everybody. Now of course all the winning teams are transported back to the lobby, and you know, everybody just wondering and congratulating the ones that actually won. It's 3 teams. The team with Goku, Vegeta, Piccolo, Yamcha, Gohan, Kid, and Jiren. Then we got the Zeno team, which includes Zeno, Goten, Trunks, Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, Pan, and a mysterious cloaked figure who is revealed to be the Supreme Kaiotan, the current one. Apparently she told everybody that she was a special helper, but I'm 100% sure that she was being made to say that. Of course we have team number 3, which includes Comber, Turles, Hearts, Super 17 with the mask on, Golden Metal Cooler, Golden Frieza, as well as Dr. YeLLa. Now of course this is when the former Supreme Kaiotan, the older one, the one that's not supposed to be doing anything, she introduces herself congratulating everybody on their history. And Trunks questioned her about saying, what have you done with the time scrolls from the time nest? She responds by saying, what am I up to? I'm just trying to bring history back to the way it should be. Just think about it. Wouldn't you consider it to be strange for there to be a world where the same people live differently and evolve differently? By showing 2 different Gokus. It goes on by saying there can only be one history that exists. Believes that it increased the number in histories to distort time and space and interfere with the flow of the other space times. In a way she kind of have a point because of the whole Dark Demon realm and everybody trying to grab those time nests and change history to make them more powerful, especially in Xenoverse 2. Goes on to say that false histories are a hindrance for the true historical process. Now Zeno Gohan, he goes in to ask, what a horrible thing to say. There are people living in those histories. Aos replies, don't measure things by mortal standards. All that matters is balance. The current Supreme Kai of time is too lenient, so I'm taking over and erasing them for her. No luck, no ability, and no false histories. As she burns those time histories, all those different histories, all those different contestants that was actually participating in this tournament. Now, like I said in my previous video, she is the new Zeno. Not literally, but in Super Dragon Ball Heroes, you might as well call her that. And this is basically the Tournament of Power, but just through space-time. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Did you like this story? Are you ready to hear the next story? I still don't know what's going on with the promotional anime. We have not gotten episode 43. That's why my review has not came out, because we have not gotten the episode yet. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, comment, and I will see you guys in the next video.